As a nation, we rightly honour our armed forces, who put their lives on the line to serve their country in some of the most dangerous places in the world. But why do so many ex-soldiers struggle to cope with life outside the military? Physical disabilities are often easy to see, but what of those able-bodied former soldiers who show no outward sign of the burden of their military service?
Every now and then I fall apart, and I need you more tonight.
Like George Ellis. Funny, popular, loving, with so much to live for. He joined up at 16 to be a soldier in the Yorkshire Regiment, and like so many young men before him, went to see the world as he served Queen and country. Tragically, though, last year, he took his own life. He was just 24 years old. I've come to meet his dad, Adrian, at the weekly coffee morning for veterans and their families in Hull.
I can't bring George back, but what I can do is try and encourage others to talk.
Geo was his nickname, G-E-O, get emotions out.
I would never have expected George to take his own life. It was an absolute shock. When I got that text that night from George to say that, I love you, I'm sorry, I'm going to kill myself. There are a number of young men that George knew that had taken their own lives.
It's often said that during war, careless talk costs lives. Now talking, it's hoped, might just save them instead.
Right, good afternoon, gentlemen. Nice to see you. Welcome to our Geo group. Tell us good or bad points that you've had this week. I'd like to start with Adrian, please.
Monday was a whirlwind day because I did an interview with Radio Humberside about the launch of the Geo group in Barton.
Have you had any bad points throughout the week?
I've been really angry. Just a feeling of just being really, really angry at everything for no reason whatsoever.
It's such a simple idea, and now the blueprint for similar groups across the UK.
I've had a good week. When I sat back down after giving my little talk, 5-10 minutes, a chap that fought in the Korean War actually come up to me with tears in his eyes, and he said, why wasn't something like this around when I was needing it? And that was really a powerful thing for me. He's in his 90s, and to think he's been suffering like that for probably 70 years or so, it was mind-boggling.
That was really powerful stuff, listening to ex-armed forces personnel talking. And this idea that Geo has, that just getting these men to express their emotions, talk to one another, and the fact that it's more powerful than a whole chemist shop full of drugs.
Last month, the Government Action Plan for Veterans stated that more mental health support is needed. But those waiting for help already know that, only too well.
When you do leave the forces, you're leaving on your own, you're stuck on your own. That's the only thing.
Was this your experience?
Yeah, I've left all your friends before you went in the forces have now moved on and done whatever else they're doing.
Paul survived by helping others in the same situation as him. The charity, Hull for Heroes, helps former servicemen and women to cope with civilian life. It runs a food distribution centre, and as COVID hit, it went from supporting 5 veterans to 500 within a week. Many veterans join in with this weekly wheelchair rugby session, and one of the players is keen to point out that suicide isn't just a male issue. You got involved in this through something called Lisa's Ladies?
Yes, that's right. It was based around Lisa Bateman, who took her own life in 2020, and she's an ex-veteran, yeah, and it's very important for the women to be involved in it as well.
But plans are afoot to bring real help to struggling veterans.
This 22-acre site has been secured by Hull for Heroes to build what's been described as the world's first ever purpose-built Veterans Village.
It's a self-supporting community offering training and support for ex-service personnel and their families. The hope is that this will be a halfway house between the military and Civvy Street, a tricky transition that's proved too much for so many.
Do you think that would have helped George?
George would have got the support from the experts at the village, that looking after that individual back into civilian life. That is the biggest thing that I think the country needs now.
We can never know if that would have been enough to save him. But surely now the only crumb of comfort for George's family would be if his legacy leads to better treatment for all the former servicemen and women.